Albania has recently become a very popular destination. With its wonderful coastline and breathtaking interior of rugged mountain ranges, it is populated with a distinct yet varied culture, an untouched beauty of fascinating history. It's no wonder that it is continually rated as one of the top travel destinations. My name is Robert Hackman, a working photographer who specialises on Albania, and for more than 20 years I have been travelling and getting to know this fascinating Balkan country. In these series, I'm going to bring to you the Albania that I have explored and fallen in love with, to show you the unusual and the unique. Places of scenic beauty and its people. Some personal insights, and hopefully, along the way, explain and disentangle some of its rich history.
On the hills behind Vlora is the peaceful village of Kanina. It's a lovely little town, well worth the drive up from Vlora, which doesn't take long. It's about 3 or 4 kilometres. It's nice and cool in the afternoon if you're coming here in summertime, so it's a good time to escape the heat that's further down on the beaches. You get commanding views from this hilltop village. It's wonderful. But the real reason I've come here is to tell you the story of Donika, the wife of the national hero Skënderbeut. Donika Arianiti was born into a noble medieval family who command a lot of the lands around this area. Her father is sadly overshadowed by Skënderbeut. Skënderbeut is rightfully the national hero of Albania, with such an epic and rich story. But his father-in-law certainly did his fair share of trying to defend this land from the Ottoman invasion. At the beginning of Judge Arianiti's life, they only commanded a small piece of land, but he married twice and he inherited very well through both of those marriages, the first one especially, when he got a lot of the land between Malakastra and Vlora, and that had expanded his domain and also his power in this area. Judge Arianiti was pretty much left alone by the Sultan Murad II, because Arianiti could pack a punch when he wanted to. So Murad II, the Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, attacked a lot further north and brought a lot of the noble families in that area into the fight against them. Hence, the noble families of Albania started to make alliances with each other as a way of enlarging their force. Donika was the daughter of Judge Arianiti and became the wife of the national hero Skënderbeut. They were married in a monastery slightly to the north of here. She also had a sister called Angelina, and Angelina married Stefan Branković, which was a Serbian noble family. She led a pious life and became a saint within the Serbian Orthodox Church. Up here on the castle walls, it's very easy to see why this is such a great place to build a fortification. It gives commanding views to the north, oversees the valley behind it, the Shushitsa River, and then, looking east, you get that. What a view. The Ottomans were advancing westward and were rubbing up against Georgia's eastern borders, and he began fighting them in the early 1430s, 10 or so years before Skënderbeut made his famous stand of resistance. He died in the Venetian-held territory of Durrës in Albania in 1461. He was a major figure in resisting the Turks, and his fame is far eclipsed by Skënderbeut, but his heroic exploits still just as worthy of recognition. So although there's not a lot of remains left in the castle besides the walls, it's still a very important cultural monument in Albanian history. But there's another thing about this village that I particularly like, and just as elusive as the missing castle. It's a teche, which is a Bektashi mystic monastery. The Bektashis began in Anatolia in the 1300s, and they moved and expanded with the Ottoman Empire due to their pastoral obligations to the Janissary Corps, the elite fighting force of the Ottomans. The Bektashis were like their army chaplains, and the two were basically one, Bektashis and Janissaries. This village, Kanina, is possibly the first place in Albania that had a teche. There's some other very old places around Albania as well, including Krujë and Fushkruja, but it looks like from all the evidence that the first one actually was here. Koça Sinan Pasha in the 1500s was Grand Vizier, which is the Prime Minister of the Ottoman Empire 5 times. He was an Albanian, and he came from this area. It's said that he possibly invited the Bektashi here to start their teche. There's no definitive proof of that. There's also the reasoning that Sinan Pasha may have been Mirliva Dikojin, who invited them here. No one is entirely sure who the Sinan Pasha was, but Avliya Çelebi, a very famous Ottoman traveller, historian and author, arrived in this village in 1670, and there was a teche here when he arrived. And because they give women an equal standing and women can worship with the men, it's sometimes seen as immoral that those two can mix. Now, they were accused of this immorality in the early 1600s in a place very close to Andrianopolis, the capital of the Ottomans. Their teche there was demolished, and it's very unlikely that all of those babas, they're the ministers, would have left and retired. And it seems that they were probably invited here by Mir Levi Dukajin, who also called himself the Sinan Pasha. They most likely arrived here 20 or 30 years just prior to Avliya Çelebi's arrival. Now, no one knows exactly where this teche was, but it was most likely, we knew that it was on the south side of this fortress, and it was most likely built where the new teche is. At the new teche, there's a grave, a very important grave. Let's go have a look. Because they were persecuted so heavily in other parts of the Ottoman Empire, they moved here, and this is very much their headquarters today. But during that whole national awakening, the Bektashis collected books, moved books, allowed people to read books, all written in the Albanian language, which was prohibited. So they were very important in the educational process of the Albanians. They also have a great tolerance to all other religions. And the Albanian people, their national character is very open and forgiving and tolerant of other faiths. So the marriage of the Bektashis and the Albanians is pretty much a given. And they've really found their home here. So this is the site of the new teche, which is most likely built over the top of the old teche. Most likely the first teche in Albania. It's very plain, very simple, very understated, and not pretentious. Very Bektashi. Ismail Kemal Bey Vlora, the founding father of Albania, was buried in this village, but later removed and reburied down in Vlora. But also, another signatory of the Declaration of Independence was Ekrem Bey Vlora. And he is buried here on this wonderful hilltop village. Ekrem Bey Vlora died in 1964 in Vienna and wasn't removed from there and brought back to his homeland until 2014. And today he rests in his homeland in this beautiful hilltop village of Kanina. So if you happen to be vacationing or visiting Vlora, take a little time out of your day, drive the 3 or 4 kilometres up into the hills behind Vlora and enjoy a cool afternoon in Kanina, wandering the castle, having a look at Bey's tomb and the Bektashi Teke. But right now, I'm heading over to that bar, see if I can find Radina, the producer, and find out where we're going to next episode. Radina.
Hi Robert, how is
Senimir? Kanina. Kanina shume. Shumbuka. Shumbuka. Shumbuka.
Okay.
Shumbuka.
With Laura for you or another thing?
I'm going to have a beer, I think.
Bira Corsa.
Beer corcha. I love a beer corcha. Well, it was good. We had a look at the castle and then investigated a little bit of the Bektashi Teche, which...
There is the Bektashi Teche
yes,
in Kanina.
yes.
In the center of Kanina.
In the centre of Kanina. Very easy to find,
Yeah.
2-minute walk from here. And
Nearby this bar.
and very close to the castle.
Very close to the castle.
And there's Vlora just down
You
there.
was walking, I see.
We walked, yeah, we did all the walking.
From the castle to the...
To the Teche, yeah. And Bey Vlora is buried there, still there. And so yeah, really lovely afternoon. I mean, it's a small village. It's a lovely village. It's always so peaceful coming up here.
Peaceful, yeah.
Sometimes a few days in Vlora, you want to escape. This is the perfect escape. Only 3-4 kilometres away from Vlora. Only takes 15 minutes to get here. And you're in a different world. It's just a fantastic village. Yeah, I love it. So, Gazua. So Kanina. I like this beer.
Why?
Beer Korcha. I like Albanian beers. Beer Korcha, Beer Tirana. They're nice and fresh.
Bira Peja.
Beer Peja from Kosovo. Albanian beers.
Albanian Northern.
So, Radina,
Yes.
where are you going to send us to next?
I think we have to go to Kurvelesh.
Korvelesh. That's a big subject.
Yeah.
I love Korvelesh. A long history and beautiful beautiful scenery. I look forward to that. Great. So we'll see you all in Korvelesh.